We have pretty big concerns that this is going to exacerbate our problems, not solve them.
As we've been talking about, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham cited public safety issues there along Central and the fentanyl crisis as some of the reasons behind deploying the National Guard next month to Albuquerque to, as we talked about, help APD. Now, the ACLU of New Mexico, however, isn't sure that military personnel will actually help with these problems. Our Feliz Romero spoke to their policy advocate about their thoughts on the order. So, Feliz, what are some of their primary concerns this evening?
Yeah, Trevor, Daniel Williams says this is more of a show of force rather than a show of solutions. The ACLU thinks that leaders need to focus on housing people and helping those struggling with addiction rather than putting more people in jail.
Reactions pouring in a day after Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham announced she's deploying the National Guard to help APD officers along the Central Corridor.
This is an extreme measure in the wrong direction. We need to be taking bold steps towards real solutions, not extreme measures towards mass incarceration.
The executive order cites fentanyl and homelessness.
What this is essentially helping as public service aides, as PSAs. So these are going to be civilians in polos, and they're not going to be doing law enforcement.
The ACLU of New Mexico says leaders should be more focused on pathways for people to get treatment. And during this past session, state lawmakers had a bill policy advocate Daniel Williams says would have done just that.
One piece of legislation that was just introduced by Representative Tara Lujan in this past session would have created overdose prevention centers in New Mexico. Those are proven by data to reduce public drug use, reduce substance paraphernalia litter.
Albuquerque Police Chief Harold Medina says freeing up officers will lower our crime rates.
The National Guard is here to help clear up officers so APD officers can go out and be proactive and take more people to jail.
But the ACLU says more police doesn't always yield a safer community. They think the focus should be on housing and social services rather than incarceration.
New Mexicans already experience incredibly high rates of police violence, some of the highest in the country. And so anytime we talk about more police on our streets, more police interacting with vulnerable people, we're worried about outcomes for folks.
Now, yesterday, the governor didn't give a timeline on how long the National Guard will be here. It can be anywhere from 6 months to a year. Reporting live in Albuquerque, Feliz Romero, KOB4.